Yo, YouTube! I got a brand new series here for you. This is volume 1 of Defunct Amusement Parks on Google Earth. We're going to be taking a look at amusement parks that once were all around the world. Of course, we got to start off with Six Flags New Orleans. I feel like that's the best starting point here. Everybody knows about it. Lasted until 2005, until it was taken down by Hurricane Katrina. Closed for storm. The sign is still, they still have the words that say closed for storm for it. It is rough. A lot of the parks still just standing there. City has officially bought it back, I believe, and mostly been used as a film set. I believe the most recognizable time you've seen this movie in a film is probably Percy Jackson. That's what I remember Megazet from. But you know, it was a nice little park. It started off as Jazzland from 2000 to 2002, and then Six Flags bought it, and it was like Six Flags' least profitable park at the time. It was almost rumored that Six Flags might have been trying to sell it, and then Hurricane Katrina happened. Damaged the park pretty much beyond repair. They did save a couple of the rides, most notably Batman the Ride, which was a B&M Batman model, which got moved over to Six Flags Fiesta Texas in San Antonio. Now runs to this day as Goliath. The biggest coaster was Mega Zeph here, a CCI hybrid wooden coaster with steel.
Zach, you need to get that checked right away.
A hybrid wooden coaster with steel supports, so wooden tracks, steel supports. Kind of a weird little model, but you can see they used the steel because of New Orleans' unpredictable weather. Sure enough, when the levees broke, the area around Six Flags New Orleans, one of the areas that suffered the most from flooding. It's basically very close to like both sides of the ocean. And yeah, sitting there since 2005. Let's take a look at what it looks like. Well, here we are, New Orleans, Louisiana. As you can see, Six Flags New Orleans was not in a good spot for the hurricane. The whole park got completely flooded. This is what it looks like now. Lots of overgrown trees around all the rides. Right over here is a rare Vekoma backwards model. It was a pretty simple Vekoma roller coaster. It used to be at Six Flags Fiesta Texas, so it's kind of like they traded roller coasters. Fiesta Texas gave them the New Orleans calls it the Jester, but I believe it used to be called the Joker's Revenge when it was in Fiesta Texas. But the whole gimmick of this ride was they put the trains backwards on it. And it was just a loop, 2 corkscrews, helix, it was done. Not a particularly beloved ride. Got a lot of hate for being very, very rough. But I don't know. For some reason, I feel like the Jester is the most peculiar loss. I mean, of course, besides Mega Zeph, yeah, a hybrid CCI coaster, that's tragic. That's tragic that's just sitting there. But a Vekoma backwards steel looping coaster, I believe it was an MK1200 technically. Yeah, that's tragic. They never made another backwards looping model of Vekoma. This was the only one, and it's just sitting in New Orleans now. Another peculiar coaster here in Six Flags New Orleans is this Wild Mouse. And most Wild Mouses are made by Zamperla, Mack, some are even made by Mauer. This one was made by L&T. And they actually made a few Wild Mouses. Most of them going, I believe, on boardwalks. Like a boardwalk Wild Mouse model. But Yep, that was one of the casualties. Just sat there, and then over here was where Batman the Ride was. When we go back in time, I'm sure we'll find it. And then here is a abandoned Vekoma Boomerang. I believe they called it Zydeco Scream, something like that. That is one of the coasters that you can see the furthest from the highway. And yeah, when you pass the highway here, you can pretty much see the whole park. Big ass parking lot. Holy crap, the parking lot is bigger than the park. I know there was a SpongeBob 4D ride here too. I love this SpongeBob 4D ride. It was my favorite. Let's take a little street view real quick. Let's see if we can find a street view of the entrance. So I believe this was the RV entrance over here. Yeah, this was the RV entrance. And as you can see nowadays, because there's been so many YouTube videos of people exploring the abandoned property, they pretty much have hardcore security just watching the shit out of this place. And you might be wondering, like, why are we spending so much money, you know, keeping kids out of an abandoned park? I kind of get it, dude. You can get hurt. You can get hurt. I mean, they're not worried about people stealing abandoned ride parks. Let's be real. It's you know, they don't want people climbing the roller coasters, falling off, and getting seriously injured. I get it. But damn, it's got to be hard. It's got to be hard to secure. Does anyone remember that trend on YouTube with like alley law? Where people would like hide in like amusement parks after hours and try to spend the night. Does anyone remember that whole trend? I wonder why YouTube doesn't recommend those videos to me anymore. And there it is, the infamous sign that says closed for storm. It's gone. And I believe this was the main entrance of the park, and yeah, it is. Oof. All right, now it's time for the time travel part, where we take this little slider and go back in time. Let's see if we can go to 2003. Oh no, this is 1998. This is actually some interesting. So this is before Jazzland even showed up in 2002. This is what the land looked like before anything even got started. That's actually pretty cool. Pretty good capture. And then 2004, this is when Six Flags pretty much just took over the park. Batman the Ride freshly built right over here. Jester right over here. 2005, park is doing. Yeah, this is July. This is in July 2005. So I believe this is probably the last capture of the park in operation. Parking lot, as you can see, they absolutely fill up that parking lot. Very popular park. They're doing great. Six Flags definitely wants to keep this park in their lineup. They also had a nice log flume here. I don't know if that's still around. I don't know if the log flume's still sitting there. Yeah, we'll find out. All right, later on in 2008 or 2005, still going. And there it is. Late August 2005. Park completely flooded. Parking lot absolutely obliterated. And here's Batman underwater. I'm surprised they were able to salvage Batman. I mean, I guess the supports were the only thing that took the footers. They were the only thing that took damage. Yeah, as you can see, that thing was flooded for months. This is from September. Look at that. Then here's a capture from 2006. This is the first year it's abandoned. Batman the Ride's still there. You see that queue line got completely smudged up. And everything's still intact, it looks like, but just damaged. Damaged to the point where they don't even want to fix it. Another thing that they saved was the Roadrunner Express. This is now sitting at Six Flags Magic Mountain. In 2006, still sitting there, and looks like they used the parking lot for some sort of storage. I'm not sure what. 2006. I wonder if we'll be able to find any film sets. More 2006. 2007. 2009. 2010. Batman the Ride gone at this point. As you can see the concrete footers were left behind. Log Flume, mostly intact, it looks like. Roadrunner Express gone at this point. That's been moved to Six Flags Magic Mountain. The footer's still left there. And then, fun fact, one of the trains for Megazeth is now sitting underneath the Batman ride at Six Flags St. Louis for some reason. I think they had moved the trains from Megazeth. They were Gerstlauer wooden trains, which are kind of rare. They moved them to St. Louis because their wooden coaster boss runs Gerstlauer wooden trains. So they're like, "Hey, we'll buy the spare trains off of you." But they just dumped them underneath Batman the Ride at St. Louis. Fun fact. Fun fact. 2012. And by 2012, you can see it just starts becoming overgrown. This is pretty much when the YouTubers started really taking over. What's this right here? This looks like some sort of... Yeah, this looks like a set. This looks like some sort of interior... Because again, they really use this area as film sets, you know. Look at this. You have a giant concrete parking lot. That's useful in film. That's really useful. This looks like some sort of stage. Did they film Hunger Games here? By 2015, yeah. Nature has pretty much taken over. And that's pretty much all I have to say about Six Flags New Orleans. Probably the most famous abandoned amusement park in America, I would think. And yeah, it's kind of sad the city hasn't figured out what to do with it, especially when you have an amazing... Now, before we leave New Orleans, I did want to show you something real quick. This is pretty neat. You might find this pretty neat. This is Lincoln Beach. Lincoln Beach used to be an amusement park. Yes. Lincoln Beach used to be a pre-segregation amusement park. But yeah, it was an amusement park that during segregation that was for only black people. Meanwhile, Pontchartrain Beach, which is now like apartments now. I haven't found any good captures of Pontchartrain Beach, but that was the whites only park. So Lincoln Beach settled right over here. It lasted, I believe, until the 60s. And they only had one coaster, the junior wooden coaster here. It was not a huge park. Had a parking lot right over here. And this is what it looks like today. Right there. And I believe there's been efforts to restore the beach, at least to be like a nice public beach. Because right now, yeah, it's just kind of a wasteland. It's some nice graffiti though. Look at that. That looks sweet. Was that onion? That's actually some cool tagging. I want to go way back on this one. Let's go way back. 85. I can't really see anything, but 98. 98, a few more of the buildings were still standing. And quite possibly the most peculiar thing about this section is that there is still one last sign sitting there. And that is the last remnants of Lincoln Beach, New Orleans. That parking sign right there, still sitting there. And yeah. Magic history. It's there for those who know where to look. Classic piece of, 50s Americana art right there, actually. All right, we got to talk about the one that is nearest and dearest to dear old Zacky's heart. It's Kiddieland, Melrose Park, Illinois. Anyway, Kiddieland, legendary park. Absolutely legendary park. Why is that sideways? Why are the pictures sideways? Why were the pictures sideways? I don't know. But they were most famous for this one little wooden coaster, Little Dipper. It was really, really fun. Super old school. And built in 1950. Whole park closed in 2009, but thank God our dear old friend Six Flags Great America did save the Little Dipper. It still runs great to this day. So good news out of that. Thank God. Thank God. Would have been sad. But Kiddieland, it's gone. Lasted from 1929 to 2009. What a life. What a life. All right, let's take a look off to Illinois. And here we have, unfortunately, a Costco. A gigantic, that being said, I love Costco. I worship Costco. I'm not talking shit on Costco. I love Costco. I shop there all the time. But this used to be an amusement park. And this is what it looks like today. Let's go back to 2007. Boom. There she was. Little Dipper sitting right there. And perhaps the most beloved ride was actually the choo-choo train. They had a little miniature choo-choo train that went around the park. And that just always ended up being the most popular ride. I remember the choo-choo train. Everyone loved the choo-choo train. The park actually went all the way out here. It had a log flume, and it had my favorite ride, the 2 water slides. Now, the 2 water slides were my favorite. Loved the water slides. Had a pirate ship. Had anything, a little small amusement park would want. It was great. I miss it dearly. I'm sad it went away. And I don't know the whole story. I don't remember the whole story and why it went under. I believe the owners just didn't want to sell it. And, after 90 years, they're just like, I guess we're done. I'm sure the park was plenty profitable. It was beloved in the community in Chicago. Like, this was very close to the city. And now it's just a Costco. Rest in peace. Pour one out to Kiddieland. Costco. Kiddieland. Costco. Kiddieland. Bummer. All right, our next destination is LeSourdsville Lake Amusement Park in Monroe, Ohio. This operated from 1922 to 2002. After reopening for the 2002 season, it was closed again for the 2003. Note was placed on the website saying it will be closed in the interim. We are seeking a new management company. Apparently, they never found one. Looks like they had a couple coasters here. This is actually a nice little kiddie coaster here. Alan Herschel Little Dipper. Is this still operating? This is still operating? Oh, hell yeah. Oh, hell yeah. So at least one of these coasters was saved. Still operating in Ohio. What else? We got Screeching Eagle. Oh, this looks sweet. This ride looked awesome. This was your 150th credit? Damn, Project Honor has this as has a credit on this? Oh my god. This looks sweet. I love this little hill on the turnaround. Just that little dip up, that looks fun. That looks really fun. And this used to be Thunderbolt at Moxahala Amusement Park, so it was originally moved somewhere from somewhere else. That closed in 2002 with the park. They also had a ride called Serpent. Oh, it's a SDC Galaxy. These are extremely common everywhere. They're not particularly special coasters. But this was saved, went to Kokomo's Family Fun Center. Still operating since 2009. Damn, you kept an SDC Galaxy running since 2009? That's actually pretty impressive. All right, let's take a look. Let's take a look, because this one, I believe, went through many different stages on satellite imagery. Oh, this is from the past. So this is from 2007. I had it locked to 2007. Let's go to the future. This is what it looks like now. Oh, they're really making it nice now. This looks really nice. So they've been beautifying the place. It looks like now called the Monroe Bicentennial Commons. Oh yeah, they've been really working on this place. This is what it looked like before that, just like a big open field. This is in 2020. So it really changed from 2020 to 2021. Wow. It looks like it was just a big open park. Oh, and this looks like right at the end of its abandoned life. By 2018, it had been closed for 16 years. And we're gonna go back. We're gonna keep going. So the park is slowly going to rebuild itself. 2016, 2015, 14, 13, 12. So at this point, it's 10 years abandoned. 2010. Oh, now it's starting to look a little bit more like a park. It looks like there was a pirate ship right here. There's the Screeching Eagle. So this is Screeching Eagle, 8 years abandoned right here. 2006. 2005's got a pretty good capture. That looks like the Serpent right there. '05, 2004. It's a kind of a decent capture. And 2000. So at this point, the park is still open. Park was still open here. Now, is this water? So there used to be like a lake here, and the lake went away. This place used to have a full-on lake. Did they just cover up the lake? They just took the lake out, and now it's a nice garden. That's really nice. All right, we got some special content here from Project Honor 4 in the chat. If y'all have any ideas for amusement parks you want to see, if you have any pictures, please put them in the comments below. Join us for our streams, 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time every night. Whoa, this is good. So they had a sky ride. This is what it looked like. What year was this, Project Honor? This was like 2016? Looks like Skyride was just sitting there for quite some time, though. And this is what it looks like now. Now it's like a really nice park. At least from a couple weeks ago. They're from a couple weeks ago. Oh my God. You should look up Celebration City in Missouri. You should watch my Defunct Roller Coasters in Storage Volume 2 video. We've done Celebration City already. So the Skyride building is really just still sitting there. I kind of love that they left that there. That's the Monroe Bicentennial Commons. That's the old Screeching Eagle station. Wow, a lot of this really was just still sitting there for a long time, wasn't it? Kids World. It's so overgrown. There's just something. I don't want to say it's liminal. Liminal is like the most overused term lately, but there is something other than liminal about this picture. Yo, good find. Project Honor 4, my man. Good stuff. And again, if you have park ideas, anything you want me to check out, comment below. All right, we're going to do one more. One of the most infamous defunct amusement parks around. Nara Dreamland in Nara, Japan. This is the very well-known copycat Japanese Disneyland that operated from 1961 to 2006. That's right, 1961. Like right after Disneyland came out. Disneyland came out in 1955. 6 years. Japan was like, oh yeah, we got to make it. And then sure enough, Tokyo Disneyland came out, I believe 20 years after that. And once Tokyo Disneyland came out, poor Nara Dreamland fell apart. Just fell apart. It operated till 2006, but I'd say post 86, it was barely operating. Very peculiar, though. Somehow, some way, and this is still, I think, the craziest story about Nara Dreamland. In 98, they somehow were able to build what people consider one of the most underrated wooden coasters to ever have existed. This is Asuka. It's an Intamin wooden coaster, and Intamin wooden coasters are rare. They're very rare. Intamin's very first roller coaster was a wooden coaster, American Eagle at Great America. And now they're wooden coasters, which again, rare, but when they make them, you get stuff like El Toro, Balder. You get the best. You get the best. Well, this was Intamin's just rare early wooden coaster models. And it was pretty much a vague clone of Cyclone, the Coney Island ride. It was pretty much just Cyclone. And Cyclone, one of the greatest layouts ever. But it had an amazing drop. You can see from this picture, that drop is really good. That is a very good drop. That looks dope. And yeah, so this copycat Disneyland that has nothing but copycat Disneyland rides and weirdly an Aero corkscrew coaster. I don't know why. Just drops a Intamin wooden coaster that everybody agrees was a fucking awesome coaster. I still think Asuka is the weirdest part about Nara Dreamland. How did they get Asuka? And you know, most enthusiasts, they would go to Nara Dreamland pretty much only for Asuka and to laugh at the rest of the park because you're like, haha, copycat Disneyland. This is vaguely very eerie. But this stood, but didn't operate from 2006 to 2016. So this park stood standing but not operating for 12 years. No, 10 years, sorry. 10 years. Whole decade. Let's take a look. That is not... I searched up Nara Dreamland in Google Earth and it took me to Disneyland. That's not right. Let's see if we can just find it. Just looking. It's right there. See, I can find. I don't even need coordinates, dude. I don't even need coordinates. I can find it from space just by searching up Nara. So this is what it looks like now. Hey, see, took up a huge plot of land. You can see it right from here. Oh yeah, right there. This was a very large park. And it started getting dismantled around 2016. This was all. It also had a water park right here. So this was their lazy river. Quite a nicely designed lazy river. 2014, they had a coaster they just called Loop Screw Coaster right here. Aerodynamic. It was one of Aerodynamic's like really early coasters, I think, too. Aska sat right here. Really large coaster. One of the funniest things about Nara Dreamland, too, is they had this useless staircase. Which I'm sure I'll put a photo right there. It's like a staircase that just goes up, goes across, and then down for no reason. It was just one of the weirdest parks. 2011, so the park abandoned at this point. All right, 2005. Here we go. Park still in operation at this point, but during the last years of Nara Dreamland, it was a ghost town. You could like actually be the only ones in the park on certain days. This was their copycat Matterhorn ride, and they did a really bad job with their Matterhorn. They somehow were really able to just screw up their Matterhorn. And that's pretty much it for Nara Dreamland. That's what it looks like. They tore it down in 2016. Aska, though, I still think Aska would have been really fun to ride. All right, that's it for Volume 1. I got plenty more defunct amusement parks to check out, so make sure to leave me a sub if you like this. Like this if you want a sub. And I'll see y'all next time. Have a good one.
Do you hear me out there?